My beloved child, I have heard every whispered prayer from your lips, whether it was uttered in tearful silence or cried out from a heart shattered by pain. I have seen the nights when you lay awake, not from physical discomfort, but because of the questions burning unanswered within you. You asked me, why did this happen? Why was I left behind? Why did those I loved turn away? And in every one of those questions, I saw the heart of a child longing to understand, not merely for the sake of knowledge, but to find a glimmer of light in the midst of the darkness. I know you have not been silent. You have not been indifferent. You have sought me. You have knocked. You have wept while praising. You have clung to faith when all that remained in your hands was my word. And that, yes, that is what moved my heart, because your love for me was not born out of ease, but refined through the fire of trial. Now, my dear child, allow me to speak this to you, a truth your heart needs to hear, even if it may weigh heavy before it lifts. Not every relationship is meant to journey with you until the end. Not everyone who enters your life is sent by me. Some come to teach. Some come to test your faith. Some are blessings, but only for a season. And there are those whom I once placed in your path, but then I myself called them away because their road and the path I've marked out for you no longer align. I know that hurts you. I know you felt abandoned. But my child, what I am doing is not stripping you, but purifying you. I am not taking to leave you empty, but clearing space for what is better. There are things you would never see if I did not remove what was blocking your view. Sometimes I close doors without warning, not because I am unfeeling, but because if you saw it coming, you would try to hold on. You would cling to what has passed its season, what no longer brings life to your soul. I need you to trust me even when clarity is absent. I need you to release what I ask you to let go of, even when your heart still longs to hold on. I know you once believed that if you prayed enough, if you loved sincerely, then every relationship would be preserved. But my child, love does not always keep someone beside you, because not everyone belongs in the journey I am leading you into. They cannot accompany you into the deeper realms of my presence. They cannot stand under the weight of the light I am pouring over your life. And that is why I allowed the separation. Do not see every unfulfilled longing as a failure. Do not believe that someone's departure diminishes your worth. No, my child, I who formed you, who called you by name, I have measured all things. Not a single tear you've shed has escaped my notice. Not a single goodbye has occurred without my knowing. And when I allow it, it means I am shielding you from what you do not yet see. I am leading you out of counterfeit attachments and into divine alignments. I am replacing hollow promises with eternal covenants. I am not merely soothing the wounds of your heart, I am healing them at the root, so you may love again. But this time, with freedom, maturity, and wisdom. What I ask of you now is not immediate understanding, but trust. Let me be the answer to what you do not yet grasp. Let my presence be the resting place for your weary soul. I am not only the one who responds to your prayers, I am the living promise. You are not abandoned. You are being set apart. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And what you've lost, if it truly came from me, can never be truly lost. And if it was not from me, then no matter how dear it seemed, you do not need to keep it. Keep praying, keep loving, keep walking in the light, and do not let the ache in your heart obscure the miracle I am quietly unfolding behind the scenes. One day, you will look back and say, Lord, thank you. Thank you for not letting me hold on to what I thought was good, just so you could give me what was truly best. And I am still writing your story line by line, chapter by chapter, moment by moment, leaving out not a single detail. And I promise you, its ending will be glorious, full of peace, and overflowing with a love no one can take from your hands. For I am both the author and the finisher of your faith. Lift up your head, my child. What has been lost does not define you. I who love you define you. And in me, nothing is wasted. No season is meaningless, and no tear is without purpose. My precious one, sit with me for a moment. Let your heart be still. Let your thoughts be calmed. And let me speak to you, not with logic, but with love. The life you are living is not a series of coincidences or scattered moments. Every soul who crossed your path, every glance exchanged, every hand that touched your heart, they were all part of my design. No one came into your life without my awareness, and no one left without purpose. You must understand, every encounter has meaning. They are markers of grace on the map of your journey, each one shaping your growth, each one lifting you into a new height of faith and understanding. Some I sent like morning light, gentle, warm, filled with joy. They came to uplift you, to inspire you, to show you the beauty of love, faithfulness, and kindness. Others I allowed to come like sudden storms, not to destroy what you were building, but to test your roots. At times, you were wounded by those you trusted most. But child, remember, even disappointment has purpose. Not one tear you shed is wasted. Those moments, though painful, were seeds of maturity silently growing within your soul. Some came to teach you how to love. Others came to teach you how to let go. Some walked with you for a stretch. Others simply lit the way in a dark place. But do not confuse temporary presence with eternal belonging. I alone remain when all else fades. Those you clung to and longed to keep were not wrong, but perhaps their chapter in your story has ended. And the wisdom you need now is not in holding on, but in saying thank you and moving forward. Sometimes, it is in letting go of someone that space is made for me to enter more deeply. Look back, hasn't it been after the pain that you heard my voice more clearly? Wasn't it in the loss that you came back to my word? To my presence as your refuge? I did not inflict your wounds, but I used them to forge you, to lift you from the ashes with stronger wings, with sharper vision, with faith that has been refined. And now, I say to you, it is time. A new season is dawning. The old door no longer fits the person I am shaping you to be. Not because the past lacked meaning, but because it fulfilled its purpose. Do not be afraid to begin again, my child. For in truth, this is not a beginning from nothing. You carry with you every lesson, every piece of wisdom, and every seed I have planted within your heart along the way. Like a farmer after the harvest, you do not come to this new field with empty hands, but with a pouch of precious seeds gathered through tears, through prayers, and through your faithfulness in the midst of trials. The road ahead may not yet be fully revealed, but let not the fog of uncertainty cause you to hesitate. I will go before you. I will guide you with the light of my word. You are no longer a confused child standing at the crossroads. You are a warrior who has been trained, a worshiper who has learned how to sing even in the ruins. You are my child chosen, called, and equipped. Do not mourn what I have removed from your life, for I never take away without giving something better in return. When you release, you make room to receive. When you trust, you will witness miracles. And as you move forward, You will realize everything you need is already within you because I dwell in you. Let the past rest. Let relationships that have run their course become memories, not chains. Let your heart be light as you look forward, not weighed down by what was lost, but lifted by hope in what is to come. I did not call you to repeat old patterns, but to build something new. Walk in freedom, in obedience, and in strong faith that, if I begin a good work in your life, I will be faithful to bring it to completion. So, my beloved, do not wait for a clearer sign. I have spoken, I have prepared the way, and I am right beside you, as I have always been. This new journey is not about proving you're worth it, it is about discovering more deeply the fullness of my love, the care of my hand, and the eternal purpose I established for you before the foundations of the world. Do not hesitate to say goodbye. Sometimes, it is the most beautiful endings that are signs of a divinely appointed beginning. You need only place your hand in mine and keep walking. For ahead of you, you will find that goodness still awaits. And I, your Father, have never stopped renewing all things for those who love me. I know that letting go is not something you can do easily. Your heart is not a switch that can simply turn off emotions at will. But my dear child, letting go does not mean denying your feelings. It means trusting that even though those emotions are real and deep, they do not necessarily have to lead to a lasting connection. Some people are sent only to awaken something within you, then quietly depart once their purpose is fulfilled. Some I have sent simply for you to discover your own worth, not to remain in your life forever. You have learned patience. You have known what it means to give without counting the cost. You have tasted heartbreak. And from that brokenness, you have also grasped hope. These lessons will stay with you for a lifetime, shaping you into the strong, tender, grace-filled person I am molding you to be. But now is the time for you to move forward, not carrying the heavy baggage of the past, but only the essentials: faith, courage, and trust in my plan. My child, I am opening a new path for you. You may not see it clearly yet, but I am rearranging the pieces in ways that go beyond your understanding. There are things I must remove so that you can receive what is greater. And the departure of that person, though painful, is a necessary part of the greater picture I am painting for your life. Not every loss is a tragedy. Sometimes it is a redirection. Sometimes it is a sign that you have come to the end of a road and are being called to turn onto a new one. You will not walk alone. In every unsteady step, I will go before you. In every moment of weakness, I will be your strength. When you feel empty, I will be your fullness. When you lose your sense of direction, I will be the lighthouse amidst the vast sea of emotion. You do not need to understand all the reasons today for one day. With more mature eyes, you will look back and say, "Thank you, Lord, for not letting me hold on to what I thought I needed." And two, do not fear what is new. Do not shrink back from starting again. What I am bringing is not a replacement, is what truly matches the person you are becoming. I never let you lose something without preparing something better to place in your hands. But you must let go before you can receive. You must lighten the load before you can soar. And you must step out of the familiar before you can discover the promised land awaiting you. Allow yourself to be healed. Let me wipe away the tears still clinging to the corners of your eyes. Let me whisper to you each morning, "My child, what I have for you remains intact." Believe that when you place your old dreams into my hands, I will return to you new visions, clearer, deeper, and more connected to your eternal destiny. So, My beloved child, today, do not cling to what no longer belongs to you. Do not let invisible ties pull you back from the light I am shining. You are no longer in the old season. The wind has shifted. A new dawn is rising. And I, the faithful one, I am calling you forward with open arms and a heart full of peace. What lies ahead is not merely a continuation, it is transformation. And you, yes, you, are an important part of it. Walk on, my child, not by your own strength, but by faith, not carrying burdens, but carrying hope, not with eyes still blurred by tears, but with a renewed gaze fixed on the one who knows the end from the beginning, and who is still writing your story with unshakable love. My precious child, come close to me in this very moment, when your heart is restless amidst many voices pulling in different directions. When you sense an invisible but powerful stirring, urging you forward, I know you feel something is shifting, as though the air carries a new message, as though time itself is pressing you toward a significant turning point. And yes, my child, a new season is approaching. I am leading you to the intersection of present and future where each decision you make will be like an arrow, setting the course of the journey ahead. This is no longer the time for hesitation or avoidance. This is the moment of faith, true, unwavering faith, not based on what you see or feel, but anchored in trust in me. I know many things confuse you, doors opening all at once, conflicting advice, desires clashing with fear of failure. But let me remind you of this. I am not the God of confusion, but the God of clarity, peace, and holy order. When you draw near to me, when you quiet your heart before me, I will speak with clarity, not with force, but with a gentle whisper to your soul, not with loud signs, but with the sweet confirmation from my spirit. This is the way, walk in it. The coming February will not be like the months before. A spiritual current is shifting not only in the world around you, but deep within your soul. You will find that what once felt easy to postpone now feels urgent. Decisions you once avoided will return with a weight you can no longer ignore. And under this pressure, you will be tested, not so I can see if you are good enough, but so you yourself can discover what truly resides in your heart. You will see more clearly what is habit and what is genuine faith. What is the voice of fear? And what is my calling? My child, I am not asking you for perfection. I am not requiring you to have all the answers. What I seek is a tender heart, willing to obey even when the full path is not yet visible. The decisions ahead may make you tremble, but you don't have to face them alone. I am holding your hand. I am arranging every detail, and all I need from you is this: trust me more than what you see. Let go of the worries that entangle your feet. Refuse to let them guide you instead of my spirit. Fix your eyes on me, one who sees the end from the beginning, who has prepared you for this very moment, who knows every gift, every limitation, and every hidden dream you've never spoken aloud. Do not let pressure from the world push you into haste. I'm not in a hurry. I am not rushed. You do not have to choose just to please others. You need to decide based on my word, based on the peaceful guidance of my spirit. I am realigning the compass of your life, and that may mean letting go of things once familiar. You may have to turn your back on what seemed secure to step into an unexplored promised land. But remember, the land I lead you to is always good, not necessarily easy, but full of blessing, because I will be there with you. You will feel the need to reorder your life not just outwardly, but deep within. Your values, your priorities, your relationships, your commitments all will come into the light for you to examine through my lens. This is not a surface cleaning. This is a spiritual renewal. I am calling you into a new rhythm of life where every action, every word, every decision flows from a deep connection with me. No longer swept along by the currents of life, but walking with clarity, knowing you live for a holy purpose, an eternal destiny. My child, let me be the center of every choice you are about to make. Do not merely ask, does this align with my dreams? But ask, does this bring glory to God's name? When you place me first, everything else will be added in its rightful order. I never call you into anything without having first prepared the grace you need to walk through it. And even if you happen to take a misstep, I can still use it to shape you, to redirect you, and to make all things work together for your good if you continue to trust in me. Therefore, as you step into February, step with courage. Let your heart no longer be bound by anxiety, but soaked in the certainty that comes from me. Do not be afraid of crossroads, for it is in those very turns that I am waiting to say to you, this is the way, walk in it. And when you look back, you will see every arrangement I set, every change I allowed, every pressure that felt overwhelming was all to push you closer to your divine destiny. I love you. I believe in you. And I am walking with you not only in this season, but through every season. Walk forward in faith, for what I have prepared for you is always greater than what you fear losing. My beloved child, sit here with me, and let me tell you something many forget in the noise of daily life. Every word you speak is not merely sound vanishing into the air, they are seeds. Each word you choose carries invisible power, a profound influence not only on others, but first and foremost on your own soul. Your words don't just reflect what is going on inside, they have the power to shape your reality, to lead you toward what is to come, or to draw you back from what I have already prepared. Do you know this? In the spiritual realm, no word is ever neutral. Every word sows something, either life or withering. And when you choose to speak words of encouragement, gratitude, faith, and truth, you are opening a path for my grace to flow. But when you allow your tongue to follow emotions that are still unsubmitted, bitterness, fear, judgment, or doubt, you may unknowingly be closing doors I long to open for you. I know you live in a world full of challenges, a world where words are weaponized, where sharp tongues are used to react, to defend, or to win arguments. But I have not called you to live like the world. I have called you to be set apart, not by a louder voice, but by a voice saturated with love, humility, and the power that comes from me. Because when you speak in alignment with my word, you are not merely saying good things, you are releasing life. Life for the mind, for circumstances, even for dried up relationships. My child, never underestimate the value of a well-timed word. A simple yet sincere prayer can shake heaven and earth. A hopeful phrase in the midst of despair can revive a collapsing soul. A wise silence can prevent a needless war. You were created in my image, and I am the one who formed the world by my word. So do not take your tongue lightly. It is not just a tool for conversation, it is a spiritual weapon. But I also know it won't always be easy for you to choose rightly. There will be times when you feel pressed, misunderstood, wounded by injustice, or challenged by the words of those you love. And in those moments, you may be tempted to respond with anger, disappointment, or words you'll later regret. But remember this, it is in the moments of testing that your faith is most clearly displayed. When you have every reason to lose control, yet choose to guard your mouth. You are acting as a mature child in me. Learn to remain silent when necessary, not because you have nothing to say, but because you've learned that not everything true must be spoken, and not everything right must be declared. Let me be your defender. Let my word be the standard by which you discern every situation. And when you feel you cannot control the anger or the pain, come back to me, pour it all out before me. Instead of planting it in someone else's heart, I want you to become a sower of life-giving words. In every conversation, in every reaction, in every prayer, choose the language of life. That does not mean you must always speak softly or pretend that everything is fine. But it does mean you choose to speak the truth in love. To build rather than destroy. To heal rather than wound. Because, my child, when you guard your lips, you are building a spiritual wall around your Sula wall the enemy cannot penetrate. And I promise you this, if you align your speech with my will, if you let your mouth become a channel for words that flow from heaven, you will begin to see the changes you have long hoped for, not always instantly, but gradually, like a seed sprouting beneath the soil. Healing will begin to flow. Doors will slowly open. Burdens will grow lighter. And you will step into a rhythm where my peace becomes more evident than ever before. So, my beloved child, as you step into each new day, as you converse with friends, face trials, or whisper prayers in the quiet, remember, your mouth is not merely sound, it is a stream. Let that stream be pure, full of life, and reflective of Metha One, who created you in love and who desires to use your very words to write a beautiful story, not just for you, but for those around you as well. And if one day you stumble, if your words falter, if you let slip something that should not have been said, return to me. I do not accuse. I will cleanse you, heal you, and help you learn again, step by step. For I am not only the giver of the word, I am also the forgiver, the teacher, and the one who never stops believing in you. My beloved child, let me sit beside you today, like a gentle father placing his hand on your shoulder in a season when your heart feels unsteady. There are hidden truths I long to remind you of, not to condemn you for moments of weakness, but so you may understand this. Within you lies a precious treasure waiting to be guarded. And that treasure is your emotions. I gave you a heart not to let it rule over you, but so you might learn how to guide it according to my ways. Emotions are not your enemy, but if left unchecked, they can lead you away from the peace I desire for you. Do you know? Emotions are like water when held in a clear vessel. They can beautifully reflect the light, but when spilled without restraint, they can flood everything and wash away what you've worked so hard to build. And I have seen how you've often blamed yourself for words spoken in anger, for actions taken from momentary pain, for turning away when you should have embraced. But I have also seen in you a heart that longs for transformation, a soul that yearns for healing, and a will that is quietly growing stronger each day. My child, guarding your emotions does not mean hiding everything you feel. I did not call you to live as a lifeless stone. I know every tear you've shed, every surge of anger you've held back, every time your heart ached with unspoken wounds. I know, because I am the one who formed you with such deep sensitivity to be moved by beauty, to grieve over injustice, to feel compassion for the pain of others. But what I desire to teach you is this: emotions must be surrendered to me, not allowed to lead you away from me. When you learn to quiet your heart in the storm, when you no longer let anxiety rush you into decisions, when you choose patience over instinctive reaction, That is when you become strong, not in the way the world defines strength, but in the way heaven sees it, a strength hidden in calmness, an authority wrapped in gentleness, a light shining through kindness without needing to speak loudly. And then you'll begin to see change happens, not with thunderous earthquakes, but with the softness of a cool breeze on a summer afternoon. You will become more patient, not because everything around you becomes easier, but because the inner anchor within you no longer shifts with every wave. You will love more, not because people always treat you kindly, but because you understand every soul is fighting something. And love is a choice, not just a feeling. You will grow in understanding because you learn to listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart, to see not just with your eyes, but with the compassion that flows from me. When you guard your emotions, you will begin to see more clearly what was once hidden beneath anger or disappointment. You will hear the voice of the Holy Spirit more clearly, because a quiet heart is the best place for me to speak. And you will respond to life with love that does not boast, does not break easily, does not rely on reaction, but is built upon the firm foundation of my word. There will be times when you are tested, when people provoke a reaction, when situations stir a storm within. But my child, remember, it is in those very moments that you have the opportunity to choose life over pain, forgiveness over bitterness, grace-filled silence over harmful words. And when you choose this way, it is not weakness, it is walking in the power I have given you. Practice this each day, not to become perfect, but to become more like me. When anger rises, pause and invite me in. When emotions try to pull you off course, let my word be the lamp to your feet. When your heart begins to roar like the waves, remember, I am the one who stills the sea with a single command. And if you fail, if your emotions slip beyond your control, come back to me. I do not condemn. I will bind your wounds. I will teach you again. And I will keep walking with you, because I know transformation is a journey, not a moment. My dear child, what I long for is not that you strain to become better by the world's standards, but that you learn how to become someone through whom I can live. When you guard your emotions, you are making room for me to dwell. And when I dwell in you, you will no longer be ruled by emotion. You will become a bearer of life, of healing, and of peace wherever you go. So, my child, begin today. Do not wait for everything to be calm. It is in the unrest that I am shaping you. Guard your heart above all else, for from it flows the wellspring of life. And I, who love you more than anything, will walk with you through every emotion, every choice, every day, until you begin to see that you, too, have become a living reflection of me in this world. My beloved child, come closer to me. Let your heart find stillness in my arms, for I know you are walking through a difficult season. I see the nights you wrestle with unanswered questions, the times your heart races not from joy, but from fear of the unknown. I feel the weight you carry too heavy to put into words, and there are moments when you quietly wonder, Lord, are you still there, my child? Hear my whisper in the silence of your weary days. I am still here. I have never left, not even for a breath. You do not need to understand everything in order to trust me. Some mysteries belong to time. Some things I cannot yet reveal, not because I withhold from you, but because your heart must be prepared to receive. But here is what you can hold on to today. I do not change. My love for you remains as constant as the day I first called your name out of the chaos. Let your faith in me be louder than the voice of fear. Do not let doubt grow like weeds in the garden of your soul. For once doubt takes root, peace begins to fade, and that is not what I desire for you. I know the world you live in can easily lead you astray. Each day you're surrounded by noise, by news, by expectations, and disappointments. But my child, you do not have to face it all alone. You are not alone in this season. Even when others don't understand you, even when no one sees your silent tears, I see and I hold your hand. I lead you still, sometimes through green pastures, sometimes through shadowed valleys, but in every place, I am with you. Do not fear your weakness, for in that very weakness, my strength is made known. I do not ask you to carry everything or prove anything. I do not expect you to always be strong. I simply desire that you lean on me more, trust me deeper, and allow me to be your unshakable refuge when all else feels uncertain. When you are weary, I will be the place where you rest. When you tremble, I will be the arms that hold you steady. When your soul sways, I will be the anchor that never moves. My child, I do not promise that you won't walk through hardship, but I promise you will never walk through it alone. You may not always see my hand, but listen through every unfolding moment, through each unexpected word of encouragement, through every peaceful second in the midst of chaos. I am speaking to you. I am here. Do not let circumstances make you forget my promise. Do not let fleeting emotion make you doubt my everlasting love. Remember, nothing escapes my eyes. And if I allow something to touch your life, I will also provide the grace for you to walk through it. You may think you are too small to make a difference, too weak to overcome, too lost to be heard. But my dear child, it is precisely in your smallness that I see the beauty of faith. It is in your trembling that I see your heart still longing to believe. And that alone is enough for me to work miracles. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to believe that your Father knows the way you must take. And I not only know it, but I also go before you to prepare the path, to protect you, to keep you from stumbling, and to lead you to the place where your heart will find the wholeness it has always longed for. Do not rush. My child, do not pressure yourself to have everything all at once. My timing is always perfect, not early, not late, but exactly on time. Walk with me step by step, day by day, breath by breath. You will see, when you place your trust in me, you will not only endure the hard season, you will be transformed by it. You will emerge with clearer eyes, a softer heart, a deeper faith, and a peace that nothing can take away. Breathe deeply. My child, lift your head high. Believe that while you do not know the future, I am already in it. I am waiting for you, ahead, not with judgment, but with open arms. I will rejoice to see you keep walking, even slowly, even with trembling steps. As long as you still believe, and when you can walk no further, I will carry you, because I am your Father, and you are the one I love with an everlasting love that never fades. So do not let fear steal the peace I have given you. Do not let doubt extinguish the faith I have kindled within you. Know this, I who began the good work in you will be faithful to complete it. I am here. I love you, and I will never leave you. In the night or the day, in laughter or in tears, in victory or in loss, I remain the one who is always with you, even to the very end of time. My beloved child, when you draw near to me, when you quiet every other voice and turn your heart toward the holy place, what I long for is not eloquent words, not long lists of needs, but a heart of gratitude, simple, yet profound. Before you utter a single petition, before you share your worries, your weariness, or your unfulfilled dreams, I want you to begin with thanksgiving, not because I need praise, but because that very act will reshape your heart, reminding you that even before the answers come, you have always had a reason to worship. My child, I know there are days when it is hard to give thanks. There are mornings you wake up with heaviness, when what you lack seems to overshadow all that you have. But it is in those moments that I invite you to look again, not with eyes of disappointment, but with eyes of faith. Remember the times I preserved you in silence, the battles you never knew I fought for you, the doors that closed so I could open better ones, the relationships that ended, not to harm you, but to save you from deeper wounds. So many things I have done that you did not notice, because I am the God who works in quiet faithfulness, always going before you to prepare what is far better than what you dare to ask. When you choose to begin your prayer with gratitude, you are changing the way you see the world. You no longer see everything as a problem, but as a miracle. Life no longer feels like a burden, but a gift. You begin to recognize that my presence is not tied to your feelings. I am there whether you feel me or not. And gratitude will open your heart to see me in the smallest things: a deep breath, a beam of sunlight through the window, the embrace of a loved one, a timely message when you are most weary. These are not accidents, they are reminders that I am still walking with you. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you give thanks. My child, praise me in the midst of the journey, when things are still unfinished, when questions remain unanswered, because praise is the key that opens the door to peace. When you give thanks for the little, you make room in your heart for more. When you exalt me for who I am, not just for what I give, your soul rises above the worries of this fleeting life and enters the current of my eternal kingdom. My child, I am the one who created all things, who hung the stars and appointed the seasons. Yet I am also your Father, the one who not only hears your whispered prayers in the night, but holds them close to my heart like precious gems. Every prayer, every groan, every thank you, I hear them. I see them. I remember them. Nothing you offer is in vain. And when you come to me with a heart of gratitude, you enter my presence with a spirit ready to receive the miraculous. Gratitude is not just an action, it is a posture of life. And that posture becomes a dwelling place for peace, for faith, and for joy that is untouched by circumstance. When you practice thanksgiving each day in the busyness of work, in the rush of crowds, in the moments that do not go your way, you are building a spiritual foundation that no enemy can shake. The enemy may tempt you with fear, with lack, with comparison, but a grateful heart will look at it all and say, "Even so, my Lord is good." And, my child, write upon your heart the things I have done. Count again the times I have preserved you, healed you, blessed you, whether great or small. Let every praise become a memorial stone, like my people once placed by the Jordan River, so that you do not forget, because the memory of my faithfulness will be the light that guides you through the darkest days. And when you begin your prayers with thanksgiving, you are telling your soul, I do not pray from emptiness, but from abundance. I do not ask in fear, but in faith in the one who never changes. End of. So, my beloved, do not let worry pull you away from me. Let gratitude draw you back. Let your prayer begin with a whisper, thank you, Father, for still being here. Even when you don't understand everything, you can still give thanks. Even when you don't yet see the outcome, You can still praise, because what I have promised will never be broken. I am the keeper of my word. I am the one still working, yes, even when you cannot yet see. And I am the one waiting for you, not with demands, but with love, with gentleness, and with an invitation. Come even closer. And begin with gratitude, my child, and you will see when your heart begins to change. The world around you will also be transformed, not because everything becomes perfect, but because your heart begins to recognize me in all things. And when you live with a heart of thankfulness, you live closer to heaven itself, where my presence is complete, and my faithfulness eternal. My beloved child, I have heard the whispers from the deepest part of your soul where no words are spoken. Yet I understand completely. I see you come before me, hiding nothing, bringing no pretense, just a heart longing to find peace amidst all the uncertainty. I see your trembling hands as you release what you've been holding onto, your worries, your unfinished dreams, the fears that linger in the silence of the night. And I want you to know, nothing you surrender to me is too small for my attention, and nothing you entrust to me is too great for me to keep and carry. Surrender, my child, is not a sign of failure, is the evidence of faith. When you lay down your will to step into mine, you are not losing anything. You are stepping into a journey more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. For I never take anything away without preparing something better. You don't have to understand everything to trust me, because I see the full picture even when your eyes can only see a fragment. When you don't know what's ahead, I am already at the end of that road, still saying, I am here with you. Oh, I know there are days when you wrestle with the fog, when you pray but hear no answer, when you try to understand and only feel more confused. But child, I am not asking you to understand everything. I only ask you to obey one step at a time. Faith is not measured by how clearly you see, but by your willingness to walk forward even when you cannot see it all. When you surrender, you allow me to do what only I can do, to heal, to open the way, to arrange, to renew all things. Remember that I am sovereign. Nothing happens outside of my permission. And if I have allowed something to touch your life, I have also given enough grace for you to walk through it not with fear, but with peace. When you hand over your worries to me, do not take them back with questions of what if or why. Let them rest in my hands. Let my steadiness replace your sleepless nights. Let my voice silence every confusion in your mind. You say you trust me, and I rejoice in that faith, small as it may seem, yet so sincere. Know this, I am not waiting for a flawless faith from you, only a willing heart to trust. And when you are weak, I will be your strength. When you doubt, I will remind you of the promises I have always fulfilled. Those promises do not fade with time, nor do they change with circumstance. I am faithful yesterday, today, and forever. When you are afraid, remember the times I have rescued you. When you doubt, recall the moments I made a way where you saw none. You have stood before walls that crumbled. You have fallen into deep valleys and been lifted by my hand. You have been wounded, and I have been the one who healed you. So why would you doubt that I will do it again, my child? I do not change. My love does not fade. My faithfulness does not grow weary. I am still the one who keeps my word. Trust, even when you don't understand. Keep walking, even when you don't see the path clearly. I will lead you with my word as a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. When you choose surrender, you are not merely handing over control to me, are opening the door for me to reveal wonders you have never imagined. I have a plan for you, not to harm you, but to give you hope, a future, and completeness. And if you are weary, if you stumble, know that my arms never close. You can rest in me. You don't need to pretend to be strong. I will carry you through the desert. I will wipe away your tears. And I will hold you close, like a father cradling his child. Nothing can separate you from my love, not height, not depth, not the present, nor the future. I have chosen you. I have called you by name, and you are mine. So, my beloved one, release your need to understand everything. For while you are searching for explanations, I am preparing miracles. While you wrestle with the why, I am writing a story titled, For a Greater Good. Let faith become the rhythm of your heart, and let surrender become the path that leads you into deep, abiding rest. You are not alone. Not ever. I am walking with you, covering you, preparing the way before you, and standing at the end of the journey to welcome you with a smile full of love. Keep surrendering. Keep trusting. Keep yielding. For you are in my hands, the safest, surest, most unshakable place to be. And there, you will discover the most miraculous truth, that my will is not only good, it is exactly what your soul needs. And it is always right on time. Amen. As a child of God, you are never alone. He walks with you in every moment, constantly reminding you to live in faith and in His unfailing love. Follow and turn on notifications so you won't miss a single word. I speak from the heights of heaven. Amen.